The leaders of the Triple C are doing well. Leaders of ZANU-PF are doing well. The political relations between political players in Harare has never been better. The relationships of Harare with the political elite in the United Kingdom and USA and China and Russia it's a well orchestrated collusion that they're doing just fine. So who are you to want to intervene in these perfect relationships that everybody that has got the power to move the needle is so happy with? So don't tell me that any move is going to come from any of these political players. And the people who are quite despondent and have given up hope. And Zimbabweans just take their passports, the raise passport prices. People who are just rushing to get passports because it's the best thing that they can get and just give up and go to other countries where they're gonna be second class citizens. It's fine, it's better than in their home country where we've got a failed state, and we've got a failed state because the state is legitimized by a useless opposition, and the global elite are happy. You know, everything goes. So it's a state of decay. When a body is decaying and rotting underground, nobody can stop the decay. The decay goes on and on. That's exactly where they want us to be. It's not like King Charles is hoping Zimbabwe to be better. That's exactly where he wants the country to be like. So it comes to a point where we say, the point that God always says that it's only the Lord who's going to rescue Zimbabwe. Because from the humanistic point of view, there's no human agency that has got interest in resuscitating Zimbabwe, except for the marginalized, suffering Zimbabweans who want Zimbabwe to be fine, but then they don't have the political power, they don't have the voices. And take a look at voices like me who speak truth to power and address the real issues. Take a look at how suppressed we are. We ask ourselves, who is suppressing us? It's the global elite. Why? Because they are happy with the operation in Zimbabwe. Then that makes me see that Google itself and YouTube and whoever is running the US military is interested in Zimbabwean suffering. Because if they were not, they will be helping us push our voices up there so that we'll be able to come up with an organized society that will take our country out of the doldrums of poverty. But no, in actual fact, it's a global concerted plan to keep us oppressed, to keep us poor. That's what they are doing. Okay, you don't understand that the Zimbabwe situation is exactly where they want us to be. The global elite wants us to be there. The Zimbabwean elite, our chiefs now, just like in the old age, people were sold into slavery by their own chiefs. Today, the modern day chiefs is Itim Nangako. That's exactly what. That's why it is not building the country. Because once they build the country, Zimbabweans will no longer be slaves. They will be free. They will be free. So, so to keep Zimbabweans as low wage earners across the world to be exploited, you need to stop building their country. You need to destroy their country, and the destruction needs to be deliberate. So there is interest, political interest in Zimbabwe and outside Zimbabwe, that are interested in making sure that there is decay in the general service provision in the country. So that decay is what gives them or that makes Zimbabwe a ripe environment to breed a population that you can exploit, because Zimbabweans are exploited all over the world. They are used as cheap labor. Even where they work, they are undermined, overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, undervalued. And so, even the South Africans, as the Zimbabwean in South Africa, I've come to realize that the South Africans actually enjoy that Zimbabwe is a failed state. Don't don't be fooled. That Gaton Mackenzie, he enjoys that Zimbabwe is a failed state. He did not go to the border because he wants Zimbabweans to be a proper. No, he went there just to get political clout recognition so that other South Africans might think that he's doing something. He might get votes and be in government. And also, he perpetuates this hatred of Zimbabweans that is already prevalent in South Africa. And that hatred is not because they actually feel sorry for us. No, they hate us and they want to push us to this place of making us feel we are nothing, so that they, the South Africans, can exploit us even further. So you see, the ANC likes a failed state. The ANC will always talk about undocumented foreigners, but they do want undocumented foreigners to be here. They wouldn't say it with their mouths, but that's what they want, so that they can exploit. Okay, so if you want to exploit people, you don't go and help them so that they can be powerful and be independent from you. No, the narcissistic point of view is to crush them or help their country get crushed in the same way Ramaphosa is aiding. Ramaphosa is aiding Emerson Mnangagwa to maintain power in Harare, so that Ramaphosa can have these millions of Zimbabweans, that white monopoly capital and black capital in South Africa, can exploit, so that even black South Africans, the ordinary poor people, can just take us for nothing. They can just, you know, treat us like worthless things, because that it makes them feel good somehow. And therefore, a failed state is good for them. Okay, business is good. I mean, even the emotional business of having people to mistreat, having people to laugh at, having people to undermine, it works well if their country is not functioning. So you wouldn't think that there would be a contingent of South Africans that are like, Aluta continue, let's get Zimbabwe right. Because once we get Zimbabwe right, so all these Zimbabweans that we're laughing at will have to go home. They will be in a rich country. Their situation will be better. We will no longer have people to call queries. And the narcissist doesn't like that, because they need something to feed on. So the Zimbabweans are a perfect food for narcissists like Gayton Mackenzie. He needs us, Gayton. He needs us Zimbabweans to be here in South Africa, so that he will be doing what he is doing. Because without us, you will not be able to use that for some political lever as a political leverage, or to gain political mileage. So this is the sorry state of the Zimbabwean people. And it makes me now to really appreciate when God says it's only the Lord who's going to take Zimbabweans out of this thing. It's only God who said to Ezekiel, son of man, can these dry bones come alive? Because Zimbabwe is like a valley of dry bones. Only by the instruction and the power of the Almighty can they come alive. And their coming alive is going to be supernatural. It's going to be used, it's going to be God using hands that are least expected, avenues that are least traveled, bypassing the natural order of things and using another advanced methodology of breaking his people free from these oppressive regimes around the world that have colluded to keep us as slaves. So this modern day slavery and this uh, failed state condition can be understood by just taking a look at Zimbabwe. Our currencies was once again tumbled in the past month, highlighting the constant attack on the wealth of all Zimbabweans. That is a critical point that I've always said on this channel, that is never fully documented out there. It is underreported, but the attack on our currency and our banking system clearly indicates to me that this is an orchestrated attack on the whole society of Zimbabwe, and it is orchestrated by very powerful interests. And those interests are not only Zimbabweans. Itim Nangagwa is just their uh, their tool in Zimbabwe, but they are actually international interests which sit pretty in places of honor. Okay, these are talking about people that are honored. They are honorable gentlemen. When they sit in the world, people will bow to them as if they are honorable people. But the things that they are doing at, in Zimbabwe is very dishonorable. And they know that no one is going to stop them because they've got all the power. Because of that, it is God in heaven who's going to stop you, sir. Holy is the Lord. My name is Ngobani Zondo. I still carry on to be a voice of reason, a voice of persuasion, a voice from the wilderness, screaming and proclaiming the, the coming wrath of the Lord Jesus Christ against all unholiness and uncleanliness in Harare and in the seat of power of the global elite themselves. The global elite think that they can hide away from the Lord. They cannot. Even if they are sitting in secure and peaceful places where they think that nothing can touch them, the anger of the Lord will once again find them and bring them to a seat of judgment. And on that day, they will have no option. Even if options were given to them, they will choose to quietly set Zimbabweans free. Holy is the Lord. It is that time, gentlemen, that my people will have to be free by the declaration of the one who created them. If you do not fear the one who created Zimbabweans, time is coming when he comes. Oh boy, oh girl, you will fear him because he is coming from heaven. It's called the wrath of the Lord. The road of the Lord, the road of the Almighty, is very difficult to comprehend. And you won't even know how it starts attacking. It will just come around and do what it does. Holy is the Lord. Have a great afternoon.